Okay, I'm finally here. I'm finally here. I'm finally here. How are you guys doing? Let's do the thing. Hi, what's up? How are you? I had so much time and then I had no time. So I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened. I had a ton of time and then I was out of time. How are you doing, friends? How are you doing? I am doing okay. I'm very tired today, and I do not know why. I hit a wall this afternoon, and I just cannot wake up to save my life right now. So we're gonna do our best. We're gonna do our best, but you know, that's all we can do, right? But how was your weekend? What did you get up to? What's up with you? How you doing? How you doing? I need to tell other Discords that I'm live, because I never do that anymore, and I really should. Because we need friends. We would like friends, right? Friends are a thing that we would like to have. Nice job on the firsties. Nice job on the firsties. Let's see. Who else can I say hello to? Hi, friends. You know, that thing you do sometimes. I don't ever do that. It's okay. There, I think hang on, let's see here. Da 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 da. I got it. It's fine. We're good. Everything's good. All right, friends. There was a cat. She left. I thought we were going to start stream with a cat. We didn't. Now we have no cat, and I'm sad. All right, y'all. Let's get into the painting, huh? Quiet start to the night. All right. I gotta move. Let's see here. I need to clean up. I have so many leftover kit stuff. Leftover kit things. Should probably start rinsing them out and then like reusing them when I need to mix paint. That would be smart, wouldn't it? But why would I do anything smart? Okay, let's clean my desk up. That's what we're doing right now. Make ourselves have a working space we enjoy. Okay, I think that is everything from this kit. Well, there's another kit. That's trash. This is trash. Trash. I'm trash, you're trash, we're all trash. It's fine. Okay, so this is Jupiter. Jupiter is Kaz's beloved kitty that passed away, and we are doing a memorial painting here. So let's get started. I think I am gonna start. I'm gonna start with one. I got new paintbrushes, you guys. Check these out. So I got new paintbrushes. They're supposed to be really good for detail. So I'm gonna most likely be using like these two the most. But I'm real excited about them because apparently they're supposed to be really good for detail work. Because they're nice and like tapered and stuff. So IDK, we will see. I don't really want to, okay, so I don't really want to start with white because it's really hard to see if I've worked on anything, but it is easiest to kind of know. It is kind of easier to know where I've been, I guess. If I start with one. All right, let's see if the hype for these is up to snuff. Okay, I don't see any ones. Here's a one. Again, it's so... Actually, you know what? Ones are so hard because I'm going to put one coat of one down. Because otherwise it gets really hard to see the border so that I know what I'm painting. I'm just going to put one layer down for the white spots. And then we'll come back at the end and add additional white spots in. Exhaust my parents. Finally, we're able to sign the papers for the new house. I remember that, yes. Basement had a leak on Friday. U-Haul truck started. Oh my gosh. Saturday was your birthday. Oh my gosh, that sounds like it was so hectic. That sounds like it was so hectic. I'm glad it sounds like things are getting sorted out, though. I'm glad it sounds like things are getting sorted. Yeah, I was asked what I did this weekend, and I completely drew a blank because I never can remember what I did yesterday. It's just a thing. It just happens. And your leg is paying for it? Oh, no. Oh, I'm sorry. I did that a couple weeks ago. 1000%. 1000%. Did too much. Burnt myself out. Then I needed an extra recovery day. Overdid it. Happens. It happens. And it sucks, but it happens. So far, I think I like the brushes. We'll see, though, once I get to more color. They look like they're putting a decent amount of paint down, too, which is nice. And they're purple, so, you know. I'm the shit today. Friendly reminder from Wolfies, if you have not already, take care of yourself today. Get them meds in. Get them meds in. Or do another self-care task. Or do another self-care task. Do something good for yourself right now. How you doing, Wolfies? Got a banana bread taco. Sounds delicious. Right? How you doing, Wolfies? Had a bad sleep Sunday right into Monday. Yeah, I did too. I think it's the full moon energy if you want my opinion. Which I know you didn't ask for, but you're getting. It's a full moon in Scorpio tonight. For anyone wondering why maybe you feel kind of drained and people have been a little spicy today. Scorpio energy. It's also a flower moon tonight, so if you go out and look up, it should look kind of pink. The moon should look kind of pink tonight. So if you like moon things. Three hours and 30 minutes. Yeah, man. Warm weather. Yeah, I think our weather heated up really fast here too. Like we went from 40 Fahrenheit to 90 Fahrenheit in less than 10 days. And that big shift in weather, that big shift in temperature is usually probably, well, it is why my body's been so achy. But it also does kind of screw with your sleep and your circadian rhythm if you're sensitive. I didn't want to turn our air conditioning on, but when I saw that the temperatures weren't supposed to come back down, like we're in the 80s for like 2 weeks here. Like I'm gonna have to, because I need the humidity pulled out of the air, and I need to be able to sleep, and I can't sleep if the house is like warmer than 70 degrees. I can't remember what 13 is. I know 30 and 31 are like 88. Because when I was in Germany, I remember being very familiar with that because it was so freaking hot when I was there. They were having like an oddly hot summer. Or a start to summer. Because I was there towards the end of the school year. Another thing, I had some bad energy in the other house because we felt stuck and heavy, and I was, oh wow, yeah. I mean, even just the change of scenery can just give you such a new perspective, you know? You might have had some bad juju hanging out there, that's for sure. You could have. You definitely could have. I know when my ex-husband left this house, 55 Fahrenheit. Aha, 55 is like perfect. That's like perfect weather. When my ex-husband moved out, my house felt completely different. The energy was so different. Okay, so we got one. There's another one here. One there. And I think that's it for ones. Then we'll move on to our next color. Narnia. Hello, friend. How are you today? It's a bit too warm. Well, where you're at, like 55 to 75 is like pretty typical, right? So I could understand that completely. I'm already at the part of run training where I hate the temperature. Having a quiet day off. Ooh. I hope that it was a nice quiet day off. Yes, new kitty picture. So this was one of the paint by number kits commissioned by Kaz from our street, Kaz and Cam. Because I definitely said if anybody wants their pet painted and doesn't want to paint it themselves, order the kit and I'll paint it for you. And they took me up on it. Marceline is next of our kitties, and then Wisp is last. I think that's all the ones that I can see. Yes. Okay, so we're gonna go to 2 next. Get some sleep. Please do. Try to catch some rest. I hope it's more than 3 hours, friend. Good night. Sending you all the hope for sweet, peaceful, quiet dreams. Here we go. Enjoy your lurking in Michigan 78. It is currently 87 in Minnesota. That's too warm for me. Seven. $68, yeah. See, that's the thing is people don't understand in Minnesota, our temperatures are the extremes. We get extremely cold, but we also get extremely warm. You know, people just think of Minnesota and they think of snow because we get a lot, usually. Not so much with global warming anymore. Depending on the year. Sometimes it's sun, sometimes not much. Like right now, we're kind of in a drought. We're in a bit of a drought. We're actually under a burn ban at the moment. Because we are in a spring drought. Hi, Kaz. How are you today? Oh, I don't even know what that is. What is that? Ah, we both got lingua taco today. Yeah, I was starting to say earlier, I completely forgot what I did this weekend, and then I remembered that I went out with a friend who was in town. We went to the park so her kiddos could play. And then we had a couple drinks and hung out and caught up. And Sunday we took my mom to the zoo. Survival crafting in an underground laboratory that's going haywire because... Okay, that sounds really cool. You need to share that in Discord so I remember. That sounds very cool. I've been trying to play a little bit of Dreamlight Valley before bed at night to make sure I can get the Alice in Wonderland event done. That's probably what we're going to be doing Thursday. I know, that's what I put in Discord in the schedule is what we would be doing. And I always say probably because you never know with my ADHD. I might get overly excited about the Elder Woods update. We'll see though. Thank you so much, Kaz. Very excited to check that out. I'm assuming by the whole lost track of time that you were enjoying it. Because typically we don't lose track of time when we aren't enjoying something. So much fun. Good, good, good. I'm glad. I still have to finish Grounded. I was mostly playing that with Yorick. They have been quite busy. Hi, Marble. You gonna come say hi? Are you gonna? You got a big old tuft of fur coming up right there. Look at that. Look at that. Silly girl. Marcy's here. We'll see if she jumps up in the window. How was everyone's weekend? I was talking about mine. So I visited with my friend on Saturday. I did a bunch of cooking. I made mini turkey pot pies. And then today I used the rest of the turkey up making turkey wild rice soup. And Sunday we went to the zoo with my mom because in the US it was Mother's Day. So we took my mom out to breakfast. Well, it was more like a brunch. And it was very delicious. And then we went to... There's a zoo by us that's very popular. We went there. And it was so hot outside, you guys. I was literally dripping sweat. And then I came home and I rehung up all my bird feeders because I've been fighting with the squirrels in my yard. I have been fighting with the squirrels because they've been eating all my bird seed. So I got some squirrel proofing done. And I got my hummingbird feeder up. I kind of want one of those bird cam bird houses, bird feeders. But then I feel like I'm just such an old person. Oh, let me see what kind of birds come to my yard. MotoGP was chaos. Race got rained on. So many riders were switching back and forth between bikes. Oh, I suppose. For safety reasons, I'm guessing. Now, is it a competition? Is this like a competition, or is it just like an exposition type thing? You know, like, forgive me, it's the only thing my brain wants to compare it to right now. But for like monster truck rallies, they're more exposition than they are like competition. Apparently there's beef though between certain monster trucks. I don't know. That's just what I heard. Dry tires was oof, oof, oof. Full-on competition. All the riders are friends, so it's chill, but it gets intense. That's cool. That's fun. I like that it's like more of a friendly competition. That sounds fun. I had to almost completely, actually no, I did completely restart. I started crocheting a granny square like style duster for myself to wear to work. And I realized I was doing the increase rounds incorrectly, and I could not for the life of me, my brain just couldn't wrap around how many rows back to go. So I said screw it, and I just started over. I was only 8 rows in, so it's not that big of a deal, but also still annoying. Goodness, this section of 2 goes on forever. This specific one. Sits all this whole spot. Big old majestic chest floof. That's what we tell Marceline she has, is a big old majestic chest floof. What is the week looking like for people? Mine's actually pretty open, and I'm pretty A-okay with that. Rupert tried a full day at doggy daycare today, and other than throwing up 3 times before he went in, he seems to be okay. His anxiety is just so bad. I feel like he's definitely in the camp of they're never gonna come back for me. And I feel bad about that, but like I'm trying to also prove we do come back. Like we come back every time, bud. We always come back. You're right, it is. I haven't been paying attention because I got distracted by other things. Is there a country you've heard that you're very excited about? I've been trying to listen to some of the competition songs, and I haven't felt super strongly about any of them, really, to be very honest. Congrats on Calico Cheer. I don't know, I feel like last year really stood out to me because they had like Bambi Thug and the whole like Yost Klein ordeal, which made me kind of sad and angry. You don't know any of the others, yeah. There was... God, I can't remember what country it was. There was one that I heard that I'm like, oh, that's pretty catchy. No, I can't remember which country it was. So much chest floof. My goodness. So much chest floof here. Have to get an X-ray on your leg because I have a virtual visit to see the ortho on Monday. Oh. No one likes their week to be full of medical appointments. Hope it goes well, though. I can't remember if it's on at like 2 p.m. here or if it's on at like 2 a.m. here. I can't remember which. I do know that I can watch it. Last year, everything, wherever it was streamed, I think it was pretty paid blocked. So I just caught the recaps on YouTube. I do too, man. The only doctor I'm not anxious around is my GP, just because, like, usually I'm only there to do my yearly physical, but, like, if I have to go to any other kind of doctor, man, I'm with you. You don't love it. I am really liking these new brushes. I feel like I can get much more precise lines with them, which I really like with these paintings. Getting some nice crisp lines in the coloring. But with some pressure, I can get a good amount of paint in the open areas, which is nice. Okay, I think I'm done finally with that gigantic... Nope, more down here. With that one gigantic spot of... floofiness. They sent like a denim blue for the background, Kaz, so if you have a different opinion on what color you would like the background to be, just let me know. And maybe you'll decide once you see it all put together more, if there's a vibe. Or if there's a specific room you're gonna hang this in so you know what colors you'd like to see. Yes, the background. Okay. Is that all of the twos? I think it is. Oh, there's a little teeny tube right here. That's it. Yeah, so they sent this kind of like gray denim blue. It's pretty. It's a pretty color. Okay, I'm gonna give my hand a break. I'm gonna take a little drinky poo. I think it will too. I think it will. They're pretty good at picking good background colors. I've been just trying to pick colors because I'm going to hang all of mine together so they're all in the same color family. I have the space for arting and crafts, so once my leg heals, I'm going to start arting again because I missed it. It's been 2 years and it helps me get on my head. I'm so excited for you for that. That's amazing. That's amazing. I'm just giving this a couple of seconds to finish drying because I think I'm going to start top down and then this direction because I keep dragging my hand through the paint like a big old dum-dum. Okay, I think we're good. All right, so we're gonna start top down. I'm thinking we'll probably need 3 coats, but we'll see. These brushes seem to be depositing a good amount of paint, so it might only be 2. I definitely just want to make sure that there's enough coating to cover the line work. Hide the numbers, all that jazz. And it looks like 2 is going to probably be enough. We'll see once it's completely dry though. My potatoes finally started sprouting. I'm pretty excited about that. I found out that purple potatoes have purple leaves. I almost pulled them out of the planter bucket because I thought that they were mushrooms. Nope, they were the leaves of the purple potato plant. My kohlrabi is doing really well. I'm making a strawberry rhubarb pie tomorrow. Is rhubarb eaten much outside of the US? I feel like I don't know. I feel like Germany probably has rhubarb because we're the same climate zone. But there's also that Barbara's rhubarbar, you know. So maybe. I just feel like I just feel like rhubarb is such a Midwestern US thing. So I'm like, I don't know. Do other countries eat rhubarb? It should, like, the climate-wise, it should be. Climate zone-wise, it should be, at least at the minimum, able to be grown in the UK. But yeah, I'm going to make a strawberry rhubarb pie tomorrow. The strawberries aren't mine yet because my strawberries have not bloomed. So those are from the grocery store. But the rhubarb is from my dad's rhubarb plant that he gave me. So It's a pretty versatile plant. I mean, it's a pretty resilient plant. I wouldn't say versatile. It's pretty resilient. Where I'm from, there used to be a massive rhubarb farm. There was a big rhubarb nursery here. And on June 1st, we actually have a rhubarb festival that I'm looking forward to going to this year. I've lived here for 13 years. I never remember when the rhubarb festival is. I'm gonna go check it out this year. I think it's actually a fairly small event, so it's like, come try some desserts. Cool. Now that's it. Bye. My grandma used to always make a rhubarb upside down cake. It was basically butter, brown sugar, and a cake mix box. A box of cake mix. I'm hoping to also make some strawberry rhubarb jam this year too. And I gotta do my dandelion harvest, my lilac harvest for my lilac wine, and my dandelion mead. Doing dandelion mead this year. I've done wine 2 years in a row and it just does not come out right. I think it's just, it needs to be sweeter. It just needs to be sweeter. So we're going to try mead this year instead. And I'm going to try a milder yeast too, I think. And I want to do, I think I'm going to do lilac blueberry wine, or lilac blueberry mead. They're both fairly delicate flavors, so I kind of hope that they don't overwhelm each other. And you'll be able to get both. And I'm only doing 2 gallons this year because every year I try to brew so much of it and then I forget about it and then it doesn't work out, so. We're trying this year, man. We're trying to fight the ADHD this year. We're trying to make what we want to make. Don't make too much. I always have the best intentions. Probably also do rhubarb schnapps this year. I made rhubarb schnapps 2 years ago and it came out so good. So good. Like almost offensively good. So I made rhubarb schnapps. I think this year I want to make a rhubarb schnapps and a strawberry rhubarb schnapps. But the dandelion honey or dandelion jam, jelly. It's jelly, it's not really a jam. That is a for sure. I still have 3 jars from last year. But it does store pretty well in the pantry, so especially if I water bath can it this year. I didn't water bath can it last year. digging these brushes quite a bit. Random TikTok find, y'all. I don't buy much off of the TikTok shop. Usually if I see it on TikTok shop, I'll go find it where it's actually manufactured and buy it. But I couldn't find where these were actually from, so I had to order them off the TikTok shop. They're definitely giving really good coverage. And they are pretty good detail-wise, too. I'm enjoying them so far. I do think that this color is gonna need a third coat, though. I almost went live in the art category tonight just to see what the world like is over there, but I felt like an imposter. Like it's art because I'm painting. It's not really a craft, but it's paint by number, and so I was like, I don't know, am I an imposter jumping over into the makers and crafting world, or jumping over into the art world for makers and crafting just because this is paint? And then I realized I'm probably thinking about it too much because I don't think other people think about it that much. Ad coming up, friends. Get up, take a stretch break. All that fun stuff. We will not have a co-work stream this week, and just because Korg does not have D&D, and I've been trying to kind of do it when Korg has D&D, because it's what I would be doing while he's playing anyways, so might as well use the time and say hi to friends and do a little co-work stream. But yeah, I think I missed this spot when I was repainting. It kind of looks like I did. For a second layer. Does anybody else do any fun foraging of stuff? I feel like I really like foraging. I really like being able to gather stuff from nature around me and cook foods with it. Like wild rice is a big thing in Minnesota. And I'm not saying I've done a wild rice harvest because I have not. But I had a coworker whose brother always would go do a wild rice harvest. They're native. And so they had all these traditional ways of gathering and doing the dehulling and the roasting, and I just used up the last of that wild rice that I had from him in my chicken wild rice soup this week, or turkey wild rice soup, sorry. Yep, we're in the ad break. Okay, I'm gonna turn the painting for now so I don't drag my hand through any of the remaining spots over here. Like a silly person, because I said I was gonna paint top down and then I got all distracted. All right, I got really hyper focused there for a second. I just really like these brushes. My brain's just like, ah, yes, so satisfactory, so satisfying. I feel like I can paint a little faster with them too because I kind of am, I can trust where they're gonna go a little bit more, if that makes sense. Okay, is that... Did I get... I think the only spot I didn't get is this one. Oh, I did get this one. So I remember. Okay. All right, I think we got one more painting coat to do of this one. Welcome back from the ads, by the way, for those of you who are out hanging out in the ads. I got a speaker for my record player finally. I don't know that that was something I was talking about on stream at all, but I got my record player set up. I got my records all together, but I just did not have satisfactory sound equipment for it, so I wasn't using it. So I finally just buckled down and got myself a decent speaker. It's actually one that has some good bass and stuff in it too. I mean, a record's always going to sound like a record. A record's always going to sound like a record. But if you can get, you know, some bass behind it, fill in some of that hi-fi sound, then you can get a pretty good sound quality out of it at the end of the day. And now to expand my record collection. I do have one record coming. My favorite band releases their album. Well, not my favorite band. They're one of my favorite bands. They release their albums on like cassette and record and like they do full releases on everything. Because why not, right? Because why not? So I have that pre-order coming in June. That I am excited about. Korg and I have been watching a series that we found. It's an Australian series, apparently, that we found on Netflix called You Can't Ask That. It's been very interesting. We watched the Netflix documentary on the Joplin, Missouri tornado. That was awesome. That was a really cool documentary. Because I remember watching that storm go through and just being so freaked out. I mean, I don't live anywhere near Missouri, but it was all over the weather stations, all over the news, all over, you know, and I was such a weather junkie. I can't say it was. I am such a weather junkie that I was glued to it. I was freaking out about it. We're apparently supposed to have some weather here on Thursday. Not super excited about that, but what can you do? Literally cannot control the weather. Literally. Would that I could. Because I'd always have like those perfect warm weather rains with little rumbly thunder. If I could control the weather, that's basically what 90% of the weather would be, I think. I'm trying to be good. Go top to bottom here. But it's a little hard to see where I've painted and where I haven't, if I don't. Just follow through, you know? You missed me rambling a lot about absolutely nothing important to an empty room, I think. I keep getting so hyper fixated on this. Oh my gosh. Ooh. I'm guessing that's a good thing though, in this case. At least it's a good hyperfixation. Doesn't help, again, that I'm sleepy today. Makes all the conversing a little bit more difficult. Hi, Whisper. Welcome back, baby girl. Wisp was here earlier, but she left. No, I didn't move it. Hi, honey. Oh. Hi. Right in my lap, apparently. Hi, baby. Hi, baby. Can I finish painting? Can I do this? Can I do this? Oh, honey, can you? Thank you. Well, Wisp decided I'm gonna put one paw on here. At least it was a spot that isn't painted. Nope, she's not staying. She's just saying hi, I guess. She just walked in, took a tour, left. Just wanted to see what was going on, I suppose. I don't remember if I've done this spot and it doesn't look wet, so I'm gonna do it again. Doesn't hurt anything. So I know I've done up there. Right, we're gonna be on to color 3 here in just a moment. Which I'm excited about. I always like when I get to change colors. I want to just make sure I got it right in here. Pretty sure I did, but there. I think that looks pretty coated to me. She is. She put a little paw print right there. You can't see it, but just so you know. You will have a little wisp ingrained in your painting. All right, on to color 3. All right, so let's kind of do a visual check for 3s. We have 3. 3. So we should start over here. 3, 3, 3, 3. Yeah, so we're gonna go this way. I want to get this to dry a little bit more though. Before we do, mostly because I don't want to drag my hand through paint. Ooh. Yep, tonight is a flower moon. You should get clarity around your relationships, clarity in areas where you might have been experiencing a lack of trust, just kind of an urge to release the things that were negative and draining. I wonder if my book says anything about it while we're waiting for that to dry. Lunar living, working with the magic of the moon cycles. Wonder if there is something about the flower moon in here. Well, it's a moon in Scorpio today. It's moon in Scorpio, 133. What does it say? Moon in Scorpio. This is a moon for the brave, for those who desire to know more, who desire to have more, and aren't afraid to do both the internal and external work it takes to get there. A moon in Scorpio is a no-holds-bar game changer. It's intense and emotion-filled. It's a deep dive beneath the surface, and if you're willing to go there, its powerful energy brings a huge opportunity for change and transformation. This moon is here to cut through all the illusions and half-truths you've been telling yourself daily about how everything is okay, you're fine the way you are, and instead to pull back the curtain for a big reveal of what's really going on underneath. Scorpio moons call you to feel all the feelings, one of the most emotional and intuitive signs. So it brings with it the opportunity for deep transformation and healing and power. Use this moon to tap into your emotions and get in touch not only with what you want, but what's been standing in your way. What are your self-destructive patterns, and how do you keep yourself small? In which ways do you self-doubt, and which ways play it safe? Give yourself time to slow down, honor, explore, and process your emotions. Let this moon guide you into your inner world, the one you bury deep beneath the surface. You won't find the answers you're seeking externally. They're hidden within the murky depths of your mind. Possibly. It's all about taking a look inward is what it sounds like to me mostly. Take a look inward and be honest with yourself about where you're at, what you want, what's in your way. Chances are what's in your way is you. From my own personal experience, most of the time what's in the way is you. You're in your own way. I missed a 2 over here. Yeah, exactly. What's in your way? It's me. Hi, it's me. I'm in my own way. Yeah, 1000%. You're not the cause of all of your own problems, but you know, for the most part, you're probably the cause of most of your problems. I guess that makes my tarot card reading from this morning make more sense. I was all upset because I got the 9 of Swords and the Tower. But then I got the Empress. So I think it was asking me to get rid of the things that's been limiting me and my creativity and holding me back a bit. I think that's kind of the lesson it was sort of asking me to deal with is, hey, your thought patterns here are kind of broken, which I've felt for a while. You got to get out of your own way if you want anything to happen here. Which I've been knowing. I just haven't done anything about it. I always get anxious when I get the 9 and 10 of Swords. And the Tower back to back, you know? I've also been in my way lately because I've been able to hyperfixate on everything except preparing for the market this fall, which is annoying to me because, like, what I said to myself this year was like, you have a year to prepare, so there's no reason to be rushed and feel the crunch like you did last time. Yet here I am doing it again. So while I have this time off of work at the end of the week, I'm going to, I think one of the things I'm going to do is I'm going to just make a couple things. I think I'm probably going to do, I'm going to do chickens and dragons because those sold really well. So we'll get those done early. And then maybe some loaf cats. I also have to take a stock of like what yarn I'm gonna need, because I buy most of it from Hirschner's and they have to ship it to me, so that always is gonna add time. So if I can plan ahead a little bit, mayhaps I won't be in a bind this year as I'm trying to get new yarn to make stuff. I also have a Michael's gift card I should go use. My problem is like the things that I'm really excited to make right now are things for my home. And those are the things that I want to focus on. But like, I gotta get ahead on this market. I gotta get some stuff made. Even though they haven't settled on a date for it yet. Like, working ahead is a smart thing, right? That's what successful people do, right? Desi, enjoy your egg taco. Back up. I don't know, I ended up all the way down there when I should have been doing this, but it's okay. We asked earlier, but I know it was early in stream. What do you guys got planned for your week? Like I said, I have a pretty light week, which is good. I have to run to the office on Wednesday. And then I'm off for the remainder of the week. And I just ordered an umbrella for my patio so I can read out there and work out there. And I'm hoping on Thursday before the storms come in, I can crochet out there. I'm gonna load a basket up of yarn and go out there. I think I'm gonna start with the chickens because the chickens go really fast. I've been listening to a book, so I'll probably keep listening to my book. And then I'll have to figure out another book, so that's gonna go pretty quick. I finished one book. I still haven't finished Iron Flame. I've been too tired to read at night, but I really should. I sleep a little bit better, I feel, when I read before bed. I don't know if anyone else experiences that, but I do feel like I sleep a little bit better. Instead of being on my screen. Oh, that's what I was gonna say. Last night, Korg and I were talking, and it came up that I had never read or seen Maze Runner. And so we started watching the Maze Runner movies. I think they're kind of fast-paced. Like, I feel like we go from the maze into the real world super fast. But I think for a movie that was paced pretty well, because it feels like there's a ton of story to tell, and you know. At some point, you gotta make a call as to what you're telling and what you're not. But he was completely right when he said I'm surprised that I hadn't read it yet or seen it, because it was right up my alley. But I think at the time, because it came out the year after Hunger Games, I think at the time, like, I was just burnt out on young adult dystopian fiction. Because it's been suggested to me. It's been suggested to me a few times. I just have never ended up going back to picking it up. We watched the first two movies, so we just have the third to watch. And I've enjoyed it. I've really enjoyed it so far, so. I decided, so I had a goal to read 12 physical books because most of what I do is audiobooks. But I think I'm gonna definitely change that goal just because I've been reading while I'm cooking and it's really nice. I've been reading while I'm crocheting and that's really nice. So I think books is books. Did I consume a book? If the answer is yes, then it was read. Doesn't matter how I consumed it. The goal was to just get more books in this year, to be very honest, because I have not been reading as much lately. And I definitely wanted to read more this year, so. I have a couple horror books and paranormal books on my list amongst all of the fantasy that I read, because I read a lot of fantasy, a lot of dystopian, a lot of romantasy, which I'm a tiny bit burnt out on romantasy, which is where I was like, let's get some horror books back in here. Let's get some different genres back in. Some other things I know I enjoy. I know Stephen King has some books out that I have not read yet that I want to. Stephen King was one of my first loves with reading. Honestly, I read Carrie, I read Cujo, I read so many of his books when I was younger. I don't remember any of them though. I just know that I really liked them back then, so I should maybe I'll listen to them. Get them off the Libby app and listen to them. But right now, I'm listening to Marissa Meyer's Heartless, which is a retelling of Alice in Wonderland. I have listened to and enjoyed the majority. Well, actually, I listened to and enjoyed all the Lunar Chronicles. So the Lunar Chronicles were 5 or 6 books long. Different retellings of storybook characters in a world that overlaps. So it was Cinderella, Snow White, Rapunzel, Cinderella, Snow White, Rapunzel, Cress, Winter, Cinder. There's one more. She also has a retelling of Rumpelstiltskin that I'm interested in reading. Cinder, Scarlet, Cress, and Winter. Okay, so it's Cinderella, Red Riding Hood, Rapunzel, and Snow White. And then Queen Lavanna's story is very good too. I like retellings, if you can't tell. I'm a fan of the retellings. I also have two other retellings. I have one called Darling that is Peter Pan from Wendy's perspective. It's supposed to be kind of dark. And then I have Cursed, which is part of the Never After universe of books. And I can't remember which book Cursed is or which character Cursed is. I think it's Sleeping Beauty. It's either Sleeping Beauty or Snow White. But there's a whole series and there's like Cursed, Hooked. There's a bunch of them. And those are dark romantasy retellings. Cursed. Hang on. Now I want to look. The Never After series. There's 6 of them. Hooked, Scarred, Wretched, Twisted, Crossed, and Hexed. And those are all retellings. But they're, like I said, those ones are like a dark romance version of the stories. The other ones, the ones that Marissa Meyer does, they're more kind of young adult romance-esque. Dystopian, almost always a little dystopian. She also has a series about kids that are superheroes that I've heard is pretty good. I like when an author, like I can read multiple things by an author. It's not like, this is all this author wrote. I haven't read any of Jim Butcher's other books because I've been such a diehard Harry Dresden fan. But I know he has other series. Mostly I know he has other series because those other series keep him from writing the Dresden File books, which makes me sad. I think we're supposed to get 3 more books from the Dresden Files. And that's supposed to wrap the series up, but I'm not sure. I'm not fully sure. I think he said it was supposed to be a 24-book series total. And we're on book 21. But now it might be 25 because I know Peace Talks got split into 2 books. And it wasn't originally going to be 2 books, so maybe we'll get 25 books. I'm still mad at him for what he did to one of my favorite characters, though, so we'll see. We'll see if we're still on speaking terms when the next book comes out. I did go back, and so I read all of the available books, and then I went back and reread them all during COVID. Or the height of COVID, I should say, since COVID's kind of here to stay. in anticipation of the new books coming out, which they did during COVID, which was a nice break and a nice mental escape. Getting 3 new books from your favorite author in the span of 2 years was really nice. I keep saying favorite author. I don't know that I have a favorite author. I have favorite series. I have series that I'm super into, you know? I have a hard time ever saying something is my favorite. Because my interests are so varied and they change so often, you know, that it's hard for me to be like, nah, yes, this one thing is my favorite. Oftentimes, with things being my favorite, it takes someone else pointing it out to me. Because they've noticed how into something I am. Which seems really strange, I know. But it happens to me way more often that someone's like, well, I know your favorite show is Buffy. And I'm like, oh, it is? Oh, yeah, you're right, it is. Like, I had somebody point out that my favorite color, I always say, is purple, except I'm also almost equally as fond of orange. So my joke now is that my favorite color is purple unless it's orange. Because it depends. They are my 2 favorite colors. But the situation in which each is my favorite is different. You know? The joys of being neurodivergent. I don't know if anyone else here can relate with that at all, but it's definitely something I experience. Yeah, it'll happen. It'll happen. It's usually it's honestly when I put the eye color in. For me, it's like, yeah, that's her. When I'm painting my kitties, and then it's like, oh wow, that's her. Oops, that's too much paint. Yeah, there's a couple spots in here that I'm gonna have to clean up at the end that have gotten some pencil smudges on them. But I'll wait to do that till closer to the end. Just so we make sure we don't drag any more paint over the top of them, or any more pencil over the top of them. Because naturally, as we cover more of the canvas, we won't have that happening as often. So far, I'm enjoying painting her quite a bit, so thank you again for trusting me to do this. Yes, yeah. It's the shading and the big white poof of her chest. All of this is all the brown tones. Because we've got more of the brown tones coming up. And then we've got a couple coming up pretty quick here too. It's the shading and the lighting. Once you get out of the mid-tones into the true colors, then it really starts to pop too. I knew with the Kima coloring that it was off because I think that they interpreted her coloring to be more of a gray tabby. I think with that kind of Norwegian forest cat look, it's a little easier to get the brown tones in, but it's getting the coloring right in their floofy chests. It's that tabby floof, tabby and floof. Hit all the threes. I think I hit all the threes. Yeah, because we just have a little bit of like a 1, 2, 3 spots of the last shade of gray, and then everything else is the brown tones. Oh, there's no cat up there. I should put fake cat back. All right. We got one more. Yeah, her look, it's very reminiscent. She's got to have had Norwegian forest cat in her. just by the markings and the big chest floof. The only thing that makes it not Maine Coon is the Maine Coons had such very triangular ears and faces. But I would guess by looking at the photos that you sent me of her, she's probably Norwegian Forest Cat, Maine Coon, Tabby, mix. I mean, in Marceline's litter, there was a full Tabby, a black and white tuxedo, a Norwegian Forest Cat blend, and black cat Marceline. So safe to say, in a lot of circumstances with cats, the breed is mutt. Yeah? Yeah, it's definitely... I had a Norwegian Forest Cat. They're gorgeous. Was Jupiter very talkative? Yes. Norwegian Forest Cats are extremely chatty cats. Marcy is a chatty little thing. So while she doesn't have the classic marking, she does have the floofiness. So I think that she's got to have some in her. We're having an ad break, friends. Get up, stretch, do the thing. Come on back when you're done. Yeah. So while it might not be like purebred or anything, the similarities are there for sure. Yeah, with that long fluffy fur. Yeah, when Marcy wants attention, she's meow, 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 meow. Like she just doesn't shut up. That's mostly when she talks, is when she wants attention. And it's usually to play with her toys. She has a string toy that she loves. Though she hasn't been bringing it around as much lately. What's funny to me is we play with the laser toy a lot to tire Rupert out because he loves to chase it. And Wisp has gotten to the point where she'll try to chase it too at the same time. It doesn't work very well. The dog just tramples right over her. The other cats will just watch. But Wisp is like, nah, I got this. The only long hair of her litter source sister must have been more the breed she was mixed with, yeah. since I was the foster of Marcy's litter and Kima's litter, I'm lucky to have pictures of all their siblings. Kima's litter was all over the place too. There was a gray tabby, there was the brown tabby, Kima. There was a short hair. Kima's more of a medium hair. One all black, solid black. Ooh, my anxiety just kicked up really bad. Not entirely certain why. Welcome back from ads. If you were in Absville, welcome back to you. I did, I was lamenting about this a little bit later. Yeah, the body shape is very distinct. I was lamenting about this a little bit earlier. But I was noticing that it really feels like subscriptions have been like super low, and even like in all the streams that I watch, not just mine. So I was like looking at my analytics and just checking them out and just seeing. And Twitch had a processor error again. And we went from having 40 or more subs recurring to having 8. And I'm really frustrated by this because it takes a long time to get that amount of trust from people. And a lot of people don't even notice that their subscriptions have been kicked by Twitch. So I keep thinking of like all of my streamer friends who are struggling through this right now. It's so frustrating. And they did this a couple years ago too, where they had a processor glitch. And we only lost a few people in that process, but you know, it's people who just kind of trust that their subscription is going to keep running, and then it doesn't, and they don't check. And it sucks. Also, I think the mass exodus of people who quit using Amazon products you know, Prime and things like that. That changed the scape on Twitch a bit. But I've been noticing that in my friends' streams and around Twitch that lately it's been rough. And it's hard because this is definitely one of those it's not about the money things, but at the same time it is a thing that I do with my time. So at least I know I do my streams because I would be doing this anyway. You know, like it's not, I don't set aside special time to do a thing. I mean, I do, but it's mostly a, for me at least, I need permission sometimes to indulge in the things that I like doing. And so having consistent streams means that I at least know I'm for sure crafting at least one night this week. So I'd be doing this anyway. But it is still tough some days. I think the world of being kind of an under the radar content creator it's hard. I think I was listening to, it was an autistic content creator who was saying it's really hard because you have something special and valuable, but nobody needs it from you. So you kind of just are here. Like, I think what I have is special and valuable. I think what we do here is fun. I think what we do here is important. But it's one of those, but no one else sees it that way sort of thing, you know? The rest of the world is like, ah, yes, another content creator. Great. So if you're not the newest and the flashiest and the boldest, then what are you offering the space that's unique? Okay. And I think that emphasis on having to be unique, having to be different, having to stand out so much is hard. It's really hard, especially on people like me who are ADHD. And man, what you see is what you get. This is me any day. This is, if you met me in person, this is exactly how I am. Film a little. Oh yeah, for sure. And that's never gonna be me. Like sometimes it's me like for an event, like if we have an event on stream, like spooky games or charity events, you know, my energy is higher. But it's also very naturally higher because I'm excited about what I'm doing. And I think the world of chill vibes and chill streams is still pretty, it flies under the radar, but like sometimes people land here and they're like, oh shit, this is really good. I really like this. And it's like, haha, see? Yeah, this is the last gray tone and then we jump into the browns. I didn't even look what time it is. 8:12. Okay. Someone else got to Calico tier. Bronze. Thanks for the lurk, friend. Research paid off. My beverage Jupiter and Mercury's mix would be American Shorthair and Norwegian Forest Cat. Right body? Yeah, probably. Yeah, Dagny is a Lynx Point tabby. Kima's a American short hair. I mean, she's technically just a short-haired domestic short-hair cat, but she's brown tabby is her color. Marcy definitely has the Norwegian Forest Cat body, that really lithe body, but she's black. So she's got other in her. She's probably just regular, just domestic short hair. Wisp is a domestic short hair calico. And Rupert is a Pembroke Welsh Corgi. I have his kennel papers that say as such. I never registered him with the AKA, or AKC. But I didn't feel the need to. We weren't going to breed him or anything, so he wasn't going to be a show dog. But I should check out his paperwork and figure out what his actual name was. Oh yeah, it did. It actually did. Thank you. Because I was like way over here. Yeah, I was like way down. That was me. That was me shrimping. But thank you for the reminder to, you know, pay attention to where my mic's positioned. That's a good thing to do. I had a Norwegian Forest cat named Missy. Very briefly, unfortunately, when we adopted her, she had failure to thrive, and she went very quickly. We only had her for about 6 months. But Missy was super vocal, and she wanted to be in your lap 1000% of the time. And even at the end, when she wasn't interested in food at all anymore, she still wanted my cereal milk every morning. That was the one thing I could get her to eat, was my cereal milk. She'd try to pull the bowl off the table so she could have it. She was such a special little girl. I'm sad we only had her for a short time, but the time we had with her was really nice. I know, I'm shrimping. I just shrimp down. Okay. Liquid cat. Liquid. Shrimp fried rice? You're telling me a shrimp fried this rice? That's impressive. Okay. So that's all there is for the brown, or the last gray. So it's all the shading in her chest floof. Yeah, I think Twitch is doing that thing where if you're not specifically subscribed to alerts, it's weird, man. It's weird. Anyway, hi, Connor. How was the job interview? Good, I'm glad. Kaz, are you ready for us to start adding in some brown? Because we're just about to start actually adding in that tone and that depth. Maybe I can do the voice. What voice? Uh-oh. Is there a voice? I'm not sure this one's gonna need a third coat. Congrats on your streak. We just gotta finish this second coat of the gray, the last shadow color. I don't think this one's gonna need a third coat, so even if it does, we can come back to it. It's not a big deal. That's an easy thing to come back to. Alrighty. It's time for some browns. Okay, let's spot our fives. Where are our fives? I don't see any fives. Nope, I missed a 4. You guys, I don't see any 5s. I have 5, so there's got to be a 5. There's got to be at least one. Maybe I'll come back to it. There's 6. Oh, there's a 5. Oh, I see. Okay, there's just a little bit of 5 here and here. Some facial highlights. Okay. We'll let that dry real quick. Get another coat on that, and then we're flipping it. Yeah, we got red flag weather here too. I just about drank my paint water. We were gonna have a bonfire on Friday, and then we couldn't. Cause burn. We don't want to burn. It's less about us controlling our burn, and it's more about if we have embers that escape, they can go up anywhere. You know? They can really just go up anywhere. All right, we got 2 little spots of highlight. A couple little spots of highlight. Yeah, right here. Here, 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 and here. Prepare the floodgates. Forecast predicted downpour. Starting to get all these browns in. Make sure that's all the 5. I think it is, because if it's like Kima, it's just kind of that highlighted color around her eyes. You forget it's Monday? Yeah. That's a good way to be, I think. Forgetting it's Monday. My whole weekend got thrown off because I didn't do the things I normally do. And so, like, with my routine being disrupted, it was hard to tell, like, what day is what? What's going on? Good job. Yeah, I made some turkey wild rice soup and individual pot pies this week. I really needed to get a whole frickin' turkey out of my freezer, and then I refilled my freezer with meals made from the turkey instead. It's like, I want my freezer space back, and then I just refilled it immediately. Exactly. But I mean, that one turkey made 16 pot pies, 16 individual pot pies, and 10 servings of soup, so good job, turkey. Good job, turkey. Okay, well, that dries. I'm gonna move on to 6, because when you get into these small spots, it's hard to be patient enough for it to dry, and I don't want to keep smudging it. Yeah, they're fairly easy. My only pro tip is to par cook the crusts, because I forgot to do that, and so it took a lot longer to cook them. So it's mostly just the bottom crust. So I would have put those in the oven for like 15 minutes on their own before putting the filling in. I think it would have been better, but you live and you learn. I'd never made them before. Yeah. I haven't eaten one yet. I had a different lunch today, but I'll probably have one tomorrow, and then I'll know for sure. I do. I enjoy cooking quite a bit. I know I talk about bread a lot on here, but in general, I really like to cook. I don't like cleaning up after I cook, but I do really like cooking. I'm hyper focused again. Which is good, but also annoying. Okay, then this is 6, 6. There's 6 up there. Okay. I actually think I need to thin this out just a little bit. It's not quite hitting the canvas the way I want. Not quite hitting the canvas how I want it to. Okay, let's do some more now. Where else did I see 6? Right here. Alright, the dog jumped up, so that made me think someone's here. Nope. Nope. Okay, those are all 7. There's 6 right here. Okay. No, Marley.
Everybody was playing fast tonight.
Oh, okay.
Marble?
Huh?
Yeah, the marble.
That's Jupiter.
Oh, right. I forgot.
Since when is Marceline brown
She's chocolatey.
in her chest?
Her floof.
Quirk thought this was Marcy. Forgot that I was doing Jupiter in between. Sorry for the sniffles tonight. I don't know. My nose isn't actually that runny. It doesn't, just kind of doing a thing, I guess. Outside it is very, very pollen-y. I have been taking an allergy med preemptively, which always helps. If you can get ahead of your allergies and get your body's histamine tolerance or your histamine response down to begin with, that's always better. So like if you know you have allergies in the spring, start taking your meds in like January if you don't take them daily, because it helps build up your barrier to the histamines preemptively. And then even if you have a reaction, it won't be as bad. Pro tip. Histamine is one of those things that if you can get ahead of it, you're better off. Hi, Whisper. Welcome back. Back to 5. She got some floof. Go back to 5. Okay, I'm gonna do this. Hi, Whisper. Hi. What are you doing, silly girl? What are you doing? You just want some love? Hmm? Give her the lovies. Okay. And away she goes. She's like, just here for some pets. Bye. Nope. I see a bunch of her fur in my hand, and I'm gonna do this. And then I'm gonna get it off my hand so it's not in your painting. Perfect, right? don't know that we're gonna need a second coat on this one either. Some of these paint blends are real thick and they come out real nice. And back to 6. Six is probably going to need 3 coats. What time is it? Okay. I am going to assume we'll get through 6, and that will probably be where we'll stop tonight. That's my prediction. That was an interesting sound effect. The very underwater sound. Yep, about 3 hours. Which we're just about at. And you can tell because I'm getting hyper focused. I usually get the hyper focus right at the end of stream. That scared me. That scared me. That was funny. Ooh, focused. Okay, so here's the plan. Thursday, gaming. Thursday, Dreamlight Valley. Star Path. Chill vibes. No Sunday. Monday back to this. I'm gonna predict this portrait will be similar to the others. The others have taken about four streams. I think this one's probably gonna take 3. This one's probably gonna take just about 3. That's my prediction. It's gonna need one more coat. There. One more coat. And then we get into all the dark tones, which in my opinion, the dark tones is when everything starts to really pop. That's, I think, when you start really seeing things come through. And you're like, ah, yes, I recognize this. Dis are mine. I did, however, do the stupid thing I always do, which is I hold the paintbrush over what I'm working on, and then I get drips. So I'm gonna clean those drips up really quick. I know I do it. I should definitely just be like, don't do that, cat. Hey, cat, don't do that. Alas, will I listen to myself? Absolutely not. Nope, wrong color. Abort, abort, abort. There. Oops, and I got one up here. Goodness, I've been messy tonight. Normally I clean those up off stream and you guys don't see me do it. Whew. All right, how we doing? Are we dry? We dry? Almost. while I'm waiting for that to dry, I will cover up the pencil marks in this color. They shouldn't really be getting any more. Knock on wood. Welcome to the cat community. It's lovely to have you here. Don't mind me as I'm hyper-focusing at the end of stream. It's fine. I'm just cleaning up some stuff while we wait for the other color to dry. Just seeing all these little tiny spots where there's pencil smudges. Okay, I'll have to clean up the rest later. Now that I'm hyper focusing on it, it's a thing. Especially because there's not a ton of this color left. There, I think I got it. Oh no, it's very tiny. I see teeny tiny little specks. So there is an ad coming up. I feel like I should snooze it. So I'm gonna. Because we're right at the end of stream. So why would I let that run? Okay, now we're gonna go back to 6. Gonna finish up 6. So much hyperfocus. Ooh. I did make an ADHD command for myself now for when the ADHD is showing. Again, I'm doing the thing where I'm holding it over the painting. Silly me. There's debris on your screen too. Well, you know. Little of column A, little of column B. getting there. You know, I don't really know either. I usually just use my t-shirt. And I'm sure that's not the right thing to do. I find that I hold my breath sometimes when I'm really hyper-focused. And I find that very strange. But apparently it's a common trait for neurodivergent people to do that, so, you know. It is always nice, I think, sometimes to realize some of the things you think are strange that you do aren't actually all that strange. You know? Like, wow, I'm a real weirdo for doing XYZ, and then you find out that, oh, that's a common trait for people who are like you. Like, oh. Guess I'm not so strange after all. Hey, Lex. Hi, friend. Oh no, we're snoozing the ad again. Hi, friend. How are you? How was your stream? If you need stream, raid and run, please do. I know you life is busy, friend. I know you life is busy. Hi, friends. Welcome on in. For those of you who do not know me, I am Kat. I craft and I game on the stream strams. And I adore Calyx. So welcome on in, raiders. It's lovely to see you. Our current hyperfixation has been painting lately, so we're painting right now. How are you? Tell me about you. How was stream? What was stream? Tell me all about the things. Tell me all about the things. If you gotta raid and run, I get it. You know that. I love you. I love your face. Beef taco. It is so lovely to see you guys here. I'm really, really grateful. You are hanging out in Strimstram with me for this moment. We are actually also getting very close to being done here. So I appreciate the raid a lot. I'm very happy to see you. I'm very happy to see Calyx, who no doubt is lurking and or cleaning up. But yes, for anybody who is new here, do you craft? Do you game? What's your favorite craft? What's your favorite game? Enjoy your lurk, Mousy. It's lovely to see you. Thank you for being here. I'm gonna do one more coat of the 5. For sure. Took a break early to get the kid ready for the recital. Back to work, lurks. Take your taco and go. Bye, Crystal. They can be walking tacos. That's okay. They can be walking tacos. We're okay with that. Alright, this is our last coat of 5. And then we actually also do have to go. So you guys can join me on another raid. But if you joined on the raid and you want to go to sleep, you got to go take care of yourself, please do that. We do like self-care here first and foremost. That is a thing we like to promote here. That's the other fun thing with neurodivergence is sometimes I have to tell myself to blink. You know, those things that people do naturally. Sometimes I'm like, oh yeah, blink. Hey baby, thank you for the raid. We were just wrapping up here as well, but I appreciate you dropping in. You gotta raid and run, I get it. I smudged that, but it'll get covered up by the cleaning up of the outside lines at the end. So that's okay. Okay. I think that's where we're gonna probably have to end here for the night. Sorry for the big sniffle right into the microphone. Totally hot, I know it. Ooh, friendos. What are we doing tonight? Who are we gonna go see tonight? We've rated Mike the last couple of times, so oops. Last news. Zytheria's on. You could go see Zytheria. Haven't seen Zytheria in a very long time.
Frills and gills on this one, or should I batch make them?
Mute that. Ba-ba. Grab our raid call, if you wouldn't mind. If you wouldn't mind, it is always a wonderful thing to go raid somebody. Join us on this raid. We are going to wrap up our stream here. I think Jupiter's going to take 3 streams. Thursday we will see you soon. Enjoy your Tabby Cat tier. Thursday we are going to play Disney Dreamlight Valley, and then yeah, otherwise please hang out in the Discord. I will see you guys there. For now, again, Calyx, thank you for the raid. Thank you, raiders, for following on a second raid. And as always, my friends, please stay safe, stay healthy, be excellent to each other, make good choices, and I shall see you on Thursday. Have a great night, friends. Bye-bye.